So you decided to move down to Miami, don't know where to live? Two areas that come to mind is Doral on the northwest side of the county and Kendall on the southwest part of the county. Both are really desirable areas, and I get it, I ask a lot of questions. What's the best area? So today I'm gonna go over all the benefits of each one of the areas so you can really hone in on where you wanna live. To give you guys a little bit of history of Doral, it was founded by Alfred Caskell. Came down to Miami Beach, and during the 1950s is when he originally came down. He had some hotels and he loved playing golf, and he would always love to play golf with his friends, but he was not allowed to play golf in Miami Beach at the time because he happened to be Jewish. So what he ended up doing is that around that time, 1950s, he ended up purchasing some land as far west as possible, which are acres of land, and he decided to build the biggest and the best golf hotel at the time, and he ended up building the international Doral International Golf Course, which is what is now known today as Trump International. But at the time, it was one of the best hotels, especially for golfing. And within a year or two of them opening, they actually had a major golfing event, which brought a lot of people to the area. When you see Doral on a map, you can definitely see that golfing is a big part of Doral. When you look at the area of Doral, you have two major construction booms. One started in 2001 to about 2009, and then you have a second one that started in about 2014 and finished up about 2023. We ran out of land, so that's why they haven't built any much more after that. But those are the two big construction types. You can actually see this when you walk into a house. If it was constructed during the first boom of Doral, you're going to see a lot of arches. They're very predominant on the type of construction, and you're going to see texturized walls. So the walls are not completely straight, but they have a little bit of texture. When you look at things that were built during the second boom in Doral, they're not going to have those texturized walls. It's going to be more of an open layout, open concept, and you're not going to see the arches as profound. Now, which one's better? That question is up to you. It actually comes down to preference. If you prefer more of an open layout, you like a little bit more arches, more of a Spanish style home. Doral has four big economic drivers, one of them being office space. There's a lot of office space in Doral, which has really big companies. You have Carnival, you have Hellman, which are just two to name a few. That's nice because it does bring higher paying jobs to the area, and it drives our economy. Number two would be industrial. There's a lot of industrial space in Doral, which is really nice because we have a lot of commerce going on, a lot of businesses and freight forwarding and whatnot. Because of how close it is to both MIA and to the port, it just kind of makes sense. And fourth, we have a really big commuting community because of how close we are to downtown and other areas. Doral is a really family-oriented area that is close enough to everything, and it just kind of makes sense for a lot of people. Okay, so Doral has 5 mega homeowner associations. What does that mean? Think about it like this. You have one big community which has a couple sub-communities inside of it. They're both homeowners associations, so each one usually has a fee, and they are inside of each other. To make it a little bit simpler, you have your little community, which is part of a bigger community. The added benefit is that the costs tend to be a little bit lower because it's split throughout a lot more people. So you tend to have bigger clubhouses, bigger facilities, and a lot more things because the cost is subdivided. You have Doral Isles, which is comprised of about 13 subdivisions and one main homeowners association. You can find properties that are 1 bedroom, 1 bath, all the way to 6 bedroom and 6-7 baths. The nice thing about Doral Isles is that the room sizes tend to be a little bit bigger because it is a little bit older in construction. That has been a little bit older, tends to have larger spaces, even though apartments are really big. Further north, you have Islands at Doral, which has very similar amenities. The only thing is that the condominium is not completely built out. All the subdivisions are pretty open, so anybody can come in and out. If that's something that you're looking for, it's probably the one for you. A little bit further to the middle of Doral, you have Doral Park, which is the original condominium in Doral, which has a similar structure. It has about 20 subdivisions in it, and it does have a golf course, tennis, and pool. They even have a restaurant in their clubhouse, which is great. If you ever get a chance, you should try it. It's called the 19th hole. And last, you have Costa del Sol, which is a little bit more geared towards golfing. It has a really nice golf course right in the middle with a clubhouse, and it has also like a little bar and restaurant, which is really nice. It's a little bit on the older side, but it is a really nice community as well. And last, you have the Residence Resort in downtown Doral. This was just finished up last year, and it has a 2-story gym with a huge pool. It even has a running track that oversees the indoor basketball court. But unfortunately, it doesn't have a golf course. It actually used to be on a golf course, which was taken down to make this community. But that's important to you. This is definitely one to consider if you are really big on having a gym and pool and all really updated and really nice amenities. Out of all of them, because this is the newer one, it's actually one of the more expensive ones, but you do get a lot of add-ons because of it. But if you do want to stay away from any HOA, homeowner associations or whatnot, you have to look at an area called Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has 214 homes right now. There's only about 3 vacant lots, and it's a really nice area. The only thing is prices start at about $1 million, $1.1 million. So if it is something that you're looking for, you do have to pay a little bit of a premium for it, but it is something that is available out there. Now, if you are looking to come down to Miami, let it be Doral or Kendall or whatnot, my team would love to help you actually hone in on where the best place where you and your family can live. So reach out to us, we'll have a whole conversation, and we'll see which one makes more sense for you. Doral has 3 main places where you can go out. You have International Mall, which is kind of like your regional mall area. You have a lot of the bigger retail stores. It has lost a little bit of its steam, but it's still doing just fine. So if you are looking for kind of like a regional mall, that's a place where you would go. Then we have downtown Doral, which is more of a walkable area. It's where they have live music on the weekends. You can really enjoy a bunch of different foods. They have a couple food halls, which is really nice, and that's the place where most people would go out, especially when you go out with your family. And then you have Doral City Place, which is the newer one, and it's where a lot of the nightlife happens. You can get a drink, they have a little bit of bowling or whatnot, but it is opened a little bit later, and it is kind of known for its like nightlife. One of the big things I want to mention about Doral is its trolley system. Sometimes it's not something that is really talked about or seen, but it is one of the places where it has a public transportation. It doesn't have any cost for any of its residents, and you can really get anywhere in Doral with its trolley system. Sometimes it's not the best or it doesn't get there on time, but it is something that is available, and it is something that you want to be using. It is out there, and it's one of the only areas out of all Miami-Dade County that has a vast trolley system. And last but not least, you have schools. Everybody always says, hey, what schools, what are my options? You have all 3 actually. You have private schools, you have Divine Savior, which is a K-8 school. It's a private school. It has great amenities and it has great programs. It has been growing over the last couple of years, and its enrollment has gone up as well. You have charter schools like Doral Academy, which has a lot of different programs. Side note, they do have a really nice liberal arts program, which you can do art, dance, visual arts, and whatnot. So it's really nice. They also have a lot of advanced programs for academic. So if you like art, sciences, or whatnot, you can actually graduate with your associate's degree by the time you leave high school. That's for all smart kids out there. And then you also have the public option. You have a couple of high schools there as well. They're all ranked A schools, so either one you go with, up to your choice, but they're all really good options. Now let's talk about Kendall. Let me give you a little bit of history about Kendall. Kendall was actually purchased from the state of Florida in 1883 by Florida Land and Mortgage Company. It was named for Henry John Burton Kendall, which happened to be a director of the company at the time, and he moved to the area in the 1990s to manage the land. And since technically it wasn't past the build zone where you were allowed to build, it actually wasn't built until the 1970s. 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s was when it was mostly built. During 1992, there was a hurricane which really damaged a lot of the area, which was with Andrew, and a lot of the houses were actually rebuilt. So many of the homes in the area are built after 1992, and that's because of the major hurricane that they had. So the majority of the homes in Kendall are not in homeowner associations. Actually, there aren't any homeowner associations in the Kendall area. There are some condo associations, which are from some apartment buildings, but when it comes to homes, they are pretty much on their own lots. It's really nice because you can kind of do your own thing, but if a neighbor decides to do something that you're not okay with, you can't really do anything about it. If they decide to paint their house purple, you kind of have to see it. It's not something that they can actually do anything about for you to have them remove it or whatnot, which is what you would have in an association. So if that's something that you're looking for, it might be a perfect area because you can kind of do your own thing. Now, the houses in Kendall are a little bit older, but they are a little bit bigger, and they also have a little bit more land. So if you are looking to have either a front yard or a backyard, or like to have activities outside, maybe Kendall is the one for you. A lot of the homes in the area have been renovated. Most of them are between 35, 40, 50 years old. So they've had a couple generations in them. So you would see differences in the inside of layouts and whatnot because they have gone through renovations and whatnot. So because of this, Kendall's actually an area that is really looked for because it's primarily a suburb of Miami, and it's pretty much just a residential area. So it's an area that a lot of people look for because of the different things that it has, and it's just particularly homes. So it's a really nice area to live in. Given that Kendall is predominantly a suburban area, it doesn't have a huge economic impact, but I'll go over some of the things that it does have. But you have Miami-Dade campus, which is the biggest community college in the country. Towards the west side, you also have Baptist Main campus that drives a lot of medical professionals to the area. You have Town and Country, which drives big stores, and you have Dayland Mall, that's considered to be one of the largest malls in the county. Further south, you have the Falls, that's been losing a lot of its steam lately, but is going through some renovations. So I'm excited to see what they do with the place. These two malls are where most of the action goes. It's a very walkable area where a lot of people tend to do some retail therapy. Now, if you like a little bit more outdoor stuff, you have Kendall Indian Hammocks Park on the northwest side of Kendall, or even Killian Palms Country Club for some golf. You have Riviera and Kendall Christian, that's private schools that are K through 5. You have Terra, that's a magnet school that's focused on environmental, biomed, and robotics. And you have the public schools, which are also rated an A as well. Now, I want to take some time to show you on a map where Doral is and where Kendall is, to show you where the main highways are and to show you where people mostly work, so you can kind of look at where your commute is. Obviously, this depends on where you'll be working, your commute, but it's just to give you a rough run. When you look at Doral, you have the turnpike over to the west side. You have to the east side, you have Palmetto. And when you look down at Kendall, you can see that the Palmetto goes through one side of Kendall, and you have South Dixie Highway, which goes across. So they're both very commutable places that people can drive to and from work without having such a long commute. To sum up, where's the best place that you can live? Well, that all depends on what you're looking for. Is there a true winner? I don't think so. Kendall is a really nice area, and it has a lot of things that are really nice and beneficial if you want to live there. If you're looking for a yard, that might be the area for you. Now, if you're looking at Doral, is that the best place? I don't know. It depends on specifically what you're looking for and what you value the most. Now, if you are looking to make the move either to Doral or Kendall or any other suburb in Miami-Dade County, reach out to me and my team. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you. We can go over the pros and cons of one and the other and find the actual place that makes most sense for you. So if you found value to this video, please consider subscribing and check out our other videos. We tend to post a video once a week. If you have any comments or anything like that, let me know. We'd love to be a resource for you guys.